Good evening. It is now 7 p.m.
Hello.
Dottie's giving me a message. Hold on just 1 second before I start. So Dottie's wondering if anybody else tried the website and had a tough time getting on to the link for the meeting. John or Linda, did you pull yours from the website?
I have, yes.
Okay, and you didn't have a problem with that?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
I didn't have a problem either.
okay, just want to make sure. Must have just been a technical glitch. Okay, I'll call the Tuesday, May 4th, 2021 Board of Selectmen meeting to order. 7 p.m. Just reminding everybody, this is being live streamed to YouTube. And in addition, it is being recorded for the public to view at a later time. All three selectmen are present. I'll begin with the approval of minutes. I'll make a motion that we approve the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from April 20th, 2021.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any discussion on these minutes? Uh-oh, we lost Suzanne. One sec. Wait for her to come back. It's gonna be one of those kind of nights.
I'm having technical difficulties. Can you hear me?
Yes, we
I
can.
can hear you. Yep.
Can't hear for some reason.
Can't hear us.
Oh,
Can you hear us now?
I think so. Yes.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the approval of the minutes. I don't have anything from the
I didn't
minutes.
either.
And any adjustments or changes?
No, they're good.
All right, so hearing none. All in favor of approving the Board of Selectmen meeting minutes from April 20th, 2021, say aye.
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 Opposed? That motion passes. We'll move on to agenda item 3, correspondence. So we received the police services report. Additionally, I had been visited by Lee Knickie and Jennifer, why am I not remembering her name, from the ARC, with a question about a redemption center. So I'm hoping to, I'll do it in my selectmen comments, but I'm hoping to add that correspondence to other business. So, did either of you receive any other correspondence?
Nothing.
I did get an email from Jessica Bolte. I think we all got it today.
Yeah, and I replied to it tonight.
Okay. But I think it's correspondence.
Yes, that's true. You're right. So we had received a message from Jessica Bolte in regard to the Memorial Day parade. All right. Moving on to agenda item 4, selectmen comments. Any selectmen comments at this time?
I only got one thing, was the Maker Faire was a very huge success. It was extremely well attended. The weather, even with the wind, the people did start, there had to be at least 4,000 people that came through. It was nonstop. It was just a great day. People are just tired of being cooped up and they came out, and hopefully all the vendors and everybody that was there, did well. So that way we can continue to build on it. But the thanks to the rec and Thompson Together and branding and everybody that was involved, it was a great success.
Do you have any comments?
The only thing I also heard that the Maker Faire was a great success. I did not actually make it down. I was at the dog pound at the kennels helping to rake and cut down trees until a little after 3 o'clock. So I ended up not going, but I will say that the cleanup at the dog kennel went very well. And we had and a very nice turnout, a good variety of people coming and going, helping for an hour, and we got a lot done.
Agreed. So yeah, as far as the Makers Fair is concerned, I did speak with Leslie. There's some tweaks for the next time, but the exciting news is that Putnam is doing a pop-up fair. It's like, this is really cool because Putnam's doing something that Thompson did and was successful at. So it's like round of applause to Recreation and Thompson together and branding and everybody that was involved with bringing that to Thompson, because now it's trending and it's good to see something really awesome come out of Thompson. The dog kennel cleanup, yes, it was we had a fantastic turnout for that. I can proudly say I don't believe I walked away with any ticks, which was my fear that I'd have ticks all over me, and I didn't. Additionally, I did touch base with Melinda probably about a month or so ago about the middle school doing an art project on the inside to brighten up the dog pound. So we're going to be moving forward with that, hopefully at the end of August, just before school starts. So the middle school art teacher and his art class are going to do some work brightening up the inside of the kennel. So that's exciting. Last night we had our town meeting, of course, 12-minute speed meeting. You heard of speed dating. This was speed town meeting. We were in and out of there. The adjustment to the ordinance for the firefighters passed. It is now an exemption versus an abatement. And additionally, the 7 parcels of land are being conveyed to Wyndham Land Trust. I contacted Steve Adams and our land use attorney, Rich Roberts, and Steve is going to be doing the legwork to get us into that position. So he's going to be doing a lot of the work that our attorney could have done. And obviously we won't have to pay out for some of the legal expenses as far as conveying over that land. Referendum's coming up on May 17th. So exercise your right to vote. Our next selectmen meeting is the day after that. Hoping for good things, hoping it passes the first time. It's a good solid budget. So one that I'm very proud of. Lastly, the Memorial Day parade that Jess Bolte had questioned us about is going to be a parade this year. I remind everybody, May 31st, kickoff at 9 a.m. from the town hall. Following the parade, we will be going to the various cemeteries in Thompson to honor the fallen with really just, a good showing, a good presentation at each cemetery honoring the fallen that sacrificed for this country. At this time, I would request that we add to other business a discussion on ARC's request for a redemption center here in Thompson. Can I'll make a motion that we add to other business the request from the ARC of Eastern Connecticut.
Second.
Second, any other discussion about my request to add that? Hearing none, all in favor of adding to other business the request from ARC of Eastern Connecticut to other business, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Suzanne, are you opposed? Aye.
Sorry. There's a hockey game going on in the background.
Okay.
Yeah, aye.
Okay. And that motion passes. We'll add it to other business. Oh, one last thing that I'm hoping you both consider. Our next meeting on the 18th. Technically, the governor's orders are poised to be lifted on the 20th. If you want to give it some thought and decide if we want to do a Zoom meeting or if we want to resume our in-person meetings on the 18th. Just give it some thought and just let me know. That's my last selectman's comment.
Okay.
All right, moving on to agenda item 5, citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments at this time? Okay, Steve Herbert.
Thank you. I just, Steve Herbert, 122 Wilsonville Road. Just wanted to request that we continue with Zoom meetings. Although the pandemic has been a problem for virtually all aspects of our lives, the one good thing I think we've learned is that we can conduct meetings via Zoom or other similar platforms. I have a difficult time walking, so not only is it a virus issue for me, it alleviates my difficulty in walking, and every step I take is some pain. So it would be very helpful for me if we continue with hybrid or Zoom meetings. Thank you.
I mean, I totally agree. I love Zoom meetings. I don't want to ever go back to in-person meetings except for when we really need to. But we'll see what the governor orders, what he does on the 20th. All right. Any other citizen comments at this time? Okay. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 6, auditing services RFP bid opening. Okay, so this is for the auditing services. Last year, finance had contracted King and King. It was we had decided, or Board of Finance had decided on just a 1-year contract. So we did go out to bid, and we have 3 bids to open tonight. I'll read them all, and we'll see where it goes. The first one I'm opening is from Hoyt, Flippetti, and Maligan. It looks like they're from Groton, Connecticut. Okay. And it looks like they've given us a 3-year contract is proposed at $50,000 each. The first 2 years, and the last year it's saying $51,250. The second is from King and King Associates from Winstead, Connecticut. This is going to be more difficult to open. I'm going to cut myself. Okay, there's 2 inserts in this one. Okay, King came in at the first year, 49,900, second year, 50,950, third year, 51,950. And I must say, this is for both the town and the Board of Education. Okay, this last one. Markham LLP, New Haven. And this one is coming in at year 1, 56,000, year 2, 57,500, and year 3, 59,000. Again, that was the combined between the town and the Board of Ed. And that was all of them. All right. Moving on to agenda item 7, appointments. We have 2 appointments tonight. Paul Lanky, replacing the unexpired term of Earl Rosebrooks to the
I'll
Zoning
make that.
Board of Appeals.
I'll make that motion.
Ken has
Second.
the motion. Suzanne has the second. Any discussion on this applicant? All in favor of appointing Paul A. Lanky to serve as a member of the zoning Board of Appeals as an alternate for the term to end November 16th, 2021, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. The second one is for Judith C. Rondo, appointed to serve on the Conservation Commission, term to expire March 15th, 2026.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Suzanne has the second. Any discussion on this applicant? I think she's a fine applicant for this. Very excited to have her back. All in favor of appointing Judith C. Rondo to the Conservation Commission, term to expire March 15th, 2026, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. Agenda item 9, Rev 3, New England Bike Course Road Use Request. This is a duplicate request from last year. Last year we had approved it, and obviously the event got canceled due to COVID. We have not received the insurance requirements of yet, but I'm obviously whatever we approve tonight will be pending those the insurance requirements being submitted. I'll make a motion that, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. You got it in front of you.
I'll make a motion that we approve the use of the road use request from Rev 3 New England Bike Course.
As long as they meet all the
As long as
requirements.
they meet all of the insurance requirements, correct?
Ken, do you want the
Fantastic.
second?
No, you can.
All right, okay, I'll take the second.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion about this event? Hearing none, all in favor of approving the Rev 3 New England Triathlon road use request pending insurance verification, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. Okay, next item up for discussion. So Marla has been working diligently to try to get us all on the right track as far as our MS4 permit requirements. In doing so, she has used up a significant portion of her inland wetland salary. Currently, the balance Orla provided to me is that she has $2,837 left in her payroll budget to get her through June 30th. We're between conservation officers since Carolyn had resigned earlier. We have a balance left in that account of $6,322. So what Marla and Orla had discussed was potentially transferring the unused hours to wetlands for the MS4 work. So
What are we doing with conservation?
we are currently drafting a job posting that we hope to get out to colleges, UConn, because Carolyn was just so skilled.
I know.
And
She'll
we
be
have
hard to
several people.
replace.
Judy Rondo's working, Marla's working on the job description, and then we're just gonna blast it out to various colleges that have that type of coursework.
Do we have-
Conservation and-
How many hours is
Only
that
assigned
position?
10.
10 a week?
Yep.
Yeah, but the truth is, Marla's going to potentially be retiring officially from our second job. So the theory is that we potentially would combine conservation and wetlands with one position. But I don't know that 10 hours a week is going to cut it, even for
And-
hiring someone.
How many
That's
hours
skill.
is conservation?
Conservation was 10, inlands, wetlands, I believe was 15 or 16 hours.
You'd have to look at the budget, but it
So
was
I'm
under,
just,
It
so
was under
essentially
20.
it would be a full-time position between the three?
I think eventually it's going to need to be. In order to get someone qualified, the biggest thing that we're looking for is someone that actually has the knowledge for GIS and mapping. Because that's where we're falling short right now.
Do we have anyone covering in that office now, or is there coverage needed? We don't?
don't have anybody that's qualified. So a lot of what Carolyn did was the mapping and
Right.
she really, yeah.
There's no one in-house qualified? Yikes.
So we know, I'm sitting down with Orla early next week to just really discuss the position and how we can make it happen, because I don't think it's going to be able to be a 10-hour a week position. It's going to have to be somebody, in order to get a good candidate, we're probably going to have to pay more. Or at least give 20 hours and potentially benefits.
And the only other possibility is if we could share with another town.
Right, and we are looking into that too. So,
Wow. Okay. So are you looking for a motion?
yeah, just so that
So
we can
this
get
has
that
to go,
the MS4 permit work has to get finished, has to get completed. And
Does-
then our intention is to pass off that work to, not pass it off, but hand it off to J&D Engineering, who does a lot of the MS4 work for the bordering towns.
does this transfer have to go through the Board of Finance as well?
Mm-hmm.
It would, yeah.
Yeah, I
So
thought
that's
so.
what- Yeah.
So we have to approve it and then they have to approve it. Okay,
So we'd approve sending it to the Board of Finance.
exactly.
Yeah, they may not act on it. They may just say, we'll see what happens at the end of the year when we do the,
All the other transfers.
yeah. But you definitely should let the Board of Finance know. Without a doubt. But I have no problem with transferring the money.
No, I don't either.
So I'll make a motion that we request to transfer the unused hours for MS4 work from conservation, that we make that request to the Board of Finance.
Would it be hours or salary?
Well, true, it would be the balance in the
The ba-
budget.
It's the funds.
Oh, so we
fund.
would say that, make a motion that we transfer the $6,322 from conservation budget to wetlands.
Correct. Okay, and I'll second that.
Second, any further discussion on this item? All in favor of making that request of Board of Finance to transfer $6,322 from the conservation budget and moving it to inlands wetlands for MS4 work, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. All right. Agenda item 10. Same type of thing. This would be requesting from Board of Finance to pull money from contingency. Renee on Thursday sent out the grant request for the historic document preservation. She did get confirmation that she'd be able to use it to help pay for the codification services of the Code of Ordinances. It's $5,300 if she gets the grant. That would leave us with approximately $4,695 that might potentially come from contingency this year to cover the cost of the project.
Well, didn't we, I may be off on this. I thought we had some discussion when Tira was on at the last meeting that maybe from some of the COVID relief money.
No?
We talked about it. I sat down with Orla. We looked at the parameters for the use of that funds, and it's a huge stretch to say
Okay.
that it's communicating.
Can you send that to us? The governor's
parameters?
recommendations on how to use the COVID funding?
We haven't gotten the one for the big one. Yeah. I'll get from Orla the one that we had gotten from the CARES money, which was the initial round, which was back in December that we were granted the funds.
Oh, we haven't gotten it for the larger sum of money that we're getting? We have not.
No,
Oh, okay.
We
I thought
haven't gotten
had.
guidelines. The one thing that I received was what the state would like to see the money used for and what Governor Lamont is proposing, and I can forward that to you. But it's still not the federal guidelines have not come down yet. They've
Oh.
jumped. So the
That's what-
governor
okay.
jumped the gun and said, hey, this is what we envision. This is what we'd like to do. So I'll send you both that.
Sure.
I mean, the other thing with this is we could hold off and wait and make sure that Renee gets the grant money. I'm assuming she will. Apparently it's it's kind of a given, I think, that she gets it. At least that's the way she presented it.
Yeah, I think it's one of those funds that come out every year.
Not competitive.
Paperwork.
It's not competitive. You just file the paperwork.
As long as you
I
file
mean,
it
I'd
on
really
time.
like to move forward with it personally. I don't have a problem with sending this off to the Board of Finance. And then if we find out that it could be COVID funds that covers it, maybe we can reimburse the contingency. I don't know if that's possible, but
Well, ask for the whole thing.
And the truth is we don't need it. It's all paid. It's paid over 2 years.
Right.
After August 15th, 10% is due. By October 31st, 20% is due. By June 30th of next year, the next 20% is due. So that's only 50% in the first year.
so that would be 5,000.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
much.
entirely the grant that Renee might potentially get. So technically we don't have until year 2 to potentially dip out of the town
So
funds.
technically, we're kind of approving the project
That's
and not
really what it
necessarily
comes
the
down
funds.
to.
Yeah.
So and then we can figure out where the funds will come from. But I'd like to know where the funds are coming from. You know? That was what I was thinking. I'd like to know that, well, we're going to take it from contingency. I do have the balance on contingency too. $23,900 is in contingency currently for this year.
With 7 weeks to go.
Well, I'm in favor of moving forward with this project. And it sounds like the first half of it could be paid for with the grant funding. And I think that leaves us 2 years to pay the other half.
Right.
Which I mean, I think it's small enough that it's something that we could figure out if you didn't want to go to the Board of Finance and ask them to take it from contingency, is my point.
And I was leaning towards asking them just to take it from contingency so we know it's there.
But then you're gonna hold it and encumber it each year?
No, that would only be for this year. If the grant doesn't come through or give us the money to start with. I'd ask for it, just ask the Board of Finance for it out of contingency and explain, what we're doing. And, what may happen that the money may come from that grant request, but to get it going, I would ask them for the money. So if it's 4,500, whatever it is, I would request that out of contingency.
I'm leaning towards that too, only because then we don't have to talk about this again.
Can I understand this? I thought it was basically a 3-year project that we pay 5,000 the first year and then a certain percentage the second year and then a certain percentage the third year.
No,
Did I
only 2 years.
misunderstand?
Only
Over
2
2
years. Yeah.
So, and Renee has said that she will receive a grant that will cover the first installment on it.
That's the plan, because she has to use those funds by June 30th if she gets the grant.
Okay.
Her funds have to be used up by June 30th. Of next
So
year.
in
Next
going
year,
to the
not
Board
this
of
year.
Finance, I don't know that I would direct them to take it out of contingency, but I would ask them to fund it.
Yeah, they're gonna say where it's gonna come from.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I see where you're going with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, just ask for the request.
Do you want to make that motion?
Yeah,
What'd
well,
you
how much money do we need?
It's $4,695. Because it was 9,995. Renee's grant would be 5,300.
Right, because that's what I'm looking at. The Thompson investment is 99.95. Because I don't see anything how it's broken down. I'm just quickly scanning that.
Yeah, it's like one of the last pages, close to the back. Let me just find it. Oh, maybe it wasn't that far back. Scrolling, it's there. Oh, page 12.
Too far.
Yeah. And you're right, Suzanne. It does say like on September 15th, 2023 in year 3, the balance would be due. But I wouldn't, that was 10% at the end.
At the end.
But I mean, I would anticipate they'd be done before then, but it's quite, well, you know.
However, you know,
So I'll make a motion that we request $4,695 from the Board of Finance to cover the balance of the codification services.
okay, and I'll second it.
So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion on this topic? Okay, hearing none, all in favor of making the request of the Board of Finance to fund the balance of codification services in the amount of $4,695, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, and that motion passes. So Eric, I see you joined the meeting. Eric is from Rev 3. You're already approved. We just need your insurance information. So you can hear me.
Great, thank you.
All right. Looking forward to the event.
Likewise. Thanks
All
for being
right.
touch. Hey,
Thanks. All right, agenda item 11, the letter of understanding between Town of Thompson and Wyndham Land Trust, discussion and possible action. So you should have received that letter of understanding that was drafted by Rich Roberts and Steve Adams in regard to the Bull Hill area and the potential that Wyndham Land Trust may acquire the Randolph property. Looking for your thoughts on this.
I mean, it's a letter of good faith between
Yeah,
Wyndham Land Trust and the town to work together.
I think it says what we wanted it to say.
Yeah, I mean, it
I
has.
think it's,
Go ahead, finish up.
no, go ahead. I think this is what we're looking for, and it says what, you know, basically if they acquire it, then, you know,
Work together.
then we'll work together, and I think that's basically what we wanted. It says if they don't acquire it, well then, you know, we have nothing to talk about, but
I did
Correct.
message Steve Adams and Rich Roberts to let them know about last night's town meeting. I additionally CC'd Mike St. Lawrence and Andy Resnikiewicz of the trust. And Mike has gotten in touch with me. He says they very much, as they acquire more space in this or more land in this Bull Hill Preserve and it becomes more cohesive, they really want to open up the Thompson side for people to access for hiking and biking and various outdoor recreational activities. So I think it's going to be a great partnership with them.
yeah, I think
No
so
doubt.
too.
So I'm just
Oh.
looking for a motion just so that you give approval for me to enter into this agreement with the land trust.
So I'll make the motion that we enter into the agreement with Wyndham Land Trust as presented.
Second.
Second, any further discussion on this letter of understanding? Okay. Hearing none, all in favor of entering into this agreement with Wyndham Land Trust as presented, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? And that motion passes. All right, on to other business, agenda item 12. So I sent you both the letter that I received from Lee and Jennifer Ritchie, couldn't think of her last name earlier. I'll be quite honest, I told them from the get-go that I didn't think this was going to fly. So what it is, it's an actual donation, like you see where people drop off their clothes, but this is for recyclables, cans, bottles. I didn't feel it was going to fly only because of our project graduation. I don't want to take away from them.
You also got the Boy Scouts that collect as well.
Right. I just, and I told Lee and Jennifer that I would present it to the board, that I personally didn't think it was good for the town, only because project graduation, they really rely on the cannon bottle drive. And obviously the Boy Scouts do as well. And I just didn't think we needed one more thing that might take away from what their fundraising does. But I'm interested to see what you both think.
When I saw that, that was the first thing that came to mind, was the project graduation and the Boy Scouts, and having another a collection facility out there could people may get confused and think it's going toward project graduation or the Boy Scouts, because it's, you know, it's in the town being collected, and where they may have wanted to give it to one or the other. So yeah, I agree. I don't think it's in the best interest at this time.
I fully support the ARC, and I think what they do is so valuable. But I have to agree that the first thing that came to mind was the seniors have been doing that for years, collecting the cans and bottles, and they do use it as a huge, you know, part of their funding, and the Boy Scouts, you know, as well. So although I'd like to say with regrets, but I don't think it's a good idea either. If it were a clothes that they were looking for donations and putting one of that kind of thing, I would be in favor of it, but not the bottles and cans.
Right.
Yeah, if they're trying a different type of collection, they'd be more than happy to support it.
Right.
But this one here is already between two groups in town, and to go to a third would be stretching, you know, just cutting back on the other two.
And Jennifer did disclose, she said that our project graduation, they bring the cans and bottles to them.
To
So
sort.
at least they get something from us.
To sort, you mean?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm assuming they get a certain amount, although
Works.
I think they take their water bottles to them potentially. I'm not sure. But yeah, so I think we're in agreement that this isn't really suitable for the town. And that's what I'll go back and I'll tell them. So. Any other business that needs to be brought up tonight?
I don't have anything.
Nothing.
Right. So with that, I'll move on to agenda item 13, citizen comments. Are there any citizen comments at this time? John Rice.
Uh,
Hi, John.
Good evening. I'd like to put on a record the great loss that Thompson has endured with the loss of Carolyn Word, conservation officer. Just want to make a point for the record that we did lose a valuable asset in the town of Thompson.
We
Thank you.
certainly did. We certainly did. And my heart goes out to the Word family. Could I just add to that? That we also lost Ernie O'Leary.
Right.
And Ernie has been an icon in this area forever. So two people that,
A tough 2 weeks.
yeah.
It has been, without a doubt.
Thanks, John, for reminding us.
I had said something last night and I thought about saying it again at tonight's meeting, but then I thought I'd let it rest. There are services going to be held at St. Joseph's on Saturday. I don't have all the details, but they are moving forward with a mass, etc., and a gathering afterwards. So
Okay,
I'll keep everybody posted for that.
thank you.
Any other
And
citizen?
I'm sorry, Amy, if
Yep,
I
that's
may,
okay.
for Ernie O'Leary, that burial will be in East Thompson Cemetery on the 15th, which is the following Saturday. and then they'll have a remembrance at Fort Hill Farms.
Was
Doug,
that
you
on
know-
the same day?
No, that's
Yes.
next week.
15th.
Yeah, the
No,
15th.
but the remembrance for Ernie at the farm, is that on May 15th?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
John, do you know what time that was? Was that 11 a.m.?
The 11 a.m. they'll be at East Thompson Cemetery.
Okay,
And I
All
think
right.
they're trying, well, I guess the intention of Norma is to keep it almost a family private type thing because of the outpouring that she's expecting, that the parking situation of East Thompson Cemetery. In addition to that, I do have another funeral at 10 o'clock in the morning, and Ernie's is at 11, but
Another funeral at the same cemetery at the East Thompson?
yes, yeah.
Is that, okay, I got it.
Any other citizen comments at this time? Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 14, tax refunds. I'll make a motion that we refund Jesse J. Pedersen $6.11 and Barbara Sine $145.38 for a total of $151.49.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of granting these tax refunds as presented, say aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. I'll make a motion that we adjourn this meeting at 7:42 PM.
Second,
Motion and a second. All in favor of adjournment of this meeting, say aye.
aye.
Aye. Opposed? That motion passes. We are adjourned 7:42 PM. Thank you,
Good night.
everyone.
Good night.
Good night.